I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Congressman Glenn Thompson urged lawmakers to vote no on the Lower Food and Fuel Costs Act on the House floor Thursday. Democrats have argued that this package would combat rising prices. While acknowledging that high costs is a nationwide problem, Thompson said, quote, "I've never seen inflation reduced by spending more money." Listen in as the Pennsylvania Republican explains.
I appreciate that. I just want to kind of replow some of the fields and the comments that have been offered here today. One of my friends on the Agriculture Committee on the other side, Ms. Spanberger, claims of industry support, and she referenced two specific organizations, but it was certainly not widespread support among farmers and ranchers, and the fact I'll offer this up, organizations that are constituted by farmers and ranchers, including the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, which is a large cattlemen association throughout this country, made up of men and women in the cattle industry. The National Pork Producers Council, and these are all organizations that oppose this piece of legislation. National Pork Producers Council, made up of farmers who raise hogs in so many different states in the United States of America, a huge industry in terms of agriculture. That organization opposes this bill. The National Chicken Council on Poultry, which is huge, certainly in the state of Virginia, the state of Pennsylvania, the state of Georgia, that oppose this piece of legislation that's on the floor today. The National Turkey Federation, same thing. And the American Meat Institute, all in opposition to this bill that we're voting on today. And the American Farm Bureau Federation, which has not opposed publicly the bill, but has raised a litany of concerns and unanswered questions. If this bill comes with an additional price tag of $700 million, not offset on many of the other provisions. Quite frankly, there's $0 for this duplicative, the poison pill part of this bill, the special investigator for cattle and pork. Thank you. That leaves me concerned that the existing enforcement resources that I've already made reference to with USDA and Department of Justice is going to be drained. I mean, we're actually probably going to see less effective investigation as a result of this. We're going to see increased consolidation because it's a new layer. If you're a packer of any size, not just the four big ones, but medium and small size, and you've got a new cop for cows on the beat, you're going to have to add compliance staff to be able to prepare. When, quite frankly, Department of Justice, the Division of Packers and Stockyards Division is already doing an incredible job. Active investigations are going on, and I agree with earlier speaker, I think it was Mr. Lucas from Oklahoma. If there's evidence of price fixing and collusion, we have a regulatory mechanism, we have a litigation mechanism, and people should be held accountable to that. And so is this... So I am, although there are some really good parts of this bill, and I'm also disappointed. We know that the only way we really get legislation through the other side of the Capitol on the Senate is where we show cohesion, where we stick together, where we work together. And we have complete consensus on basically all the other aspects of this bill. And we did request that this bill need to be divided and the special investigator portion come out of the bill. And I think we could be scoring some victories for the American people and for American farmers. But quite frankly, I think to be in line with President Biden, because President Biden's approach to everything is all the problems that have been created with his ill-fated policies, that it's somebody else's fault. And this is blaming for the private sector who work hard to provide us with the food that we need. This is blaming them when, quite frankly, it's a failure to take responsibility, for what has happened on day one, starting with President Biden. Now, we'd love to work with President Biden to make sure that we could address inflation, but adding this $700 million today, I've never seen, in my lifetime anyways, or my experience, of how you can spend more money and spend your way out of inflation. It just doesn't work that way. The economics do not work that way. And so, if inflation is the issue, again, I've never seen inflation reduced by spending more money. And so, I would respectfully encourage, because we go back to the drawing board and take each of the bills that are really good bills, or bipartisan and strong bills, we ought to take those up individually and give the Congress an opportunity to speak on behalf of the American people and affirm that these are good bills, and be able to stand on our and let the special investigator stand on its own. And with that, I encourage a no vote on H.R. 7606, and I yield back.